In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a very simple at-home test that you can do with Renu28, ASEA's Redox signaling gel. Now, this video is meant for those of you that want instant gratification. You don't want to wait. You don't want to wait to see when Redox is going to work in your body or how long it's going to take. You're like, show me now. I'm Danielle Matthews. I have a degree in biology from the University of Virginia, and I myself have been using this redox signaling technology since 2014. Since before, actually, this gel was even available on market. I have since used what I'm about to show you and share with you on hundreds of people. I have seen the results of this again and again and again, and now my ask is that you share your results in the comments. Let me know how this is going for you. Now, a little bit of history. The liquid in the blue bottle, the ASEA Redox, that was the first thing that came to market, and people started to spray it. They were spraying it on their skin, everywhere, and they were saying, we want a topical version of this. And so the company, after I think it was something like 40 attempts, was able to get a silicate that could allow this to congeal and not make the redox molecules react, because these are very bioactive, right? They touch something organic and they go. They finally did it, and that's when we got Renu28. What's nice about this is you can target the areas you put it. When you drink it, it goes where the body deems most necessary. But with this, you can tell it where to go. So all the research that they've done is on the skin. What this does for skin cell turnover, for skin elasticity, things like this. But when we got our hands on it, we saw that it did something even more. Understand this, the human body is just trillions and trillions of cells, and these cells are communicating. It's a coordinated effort that goes on. Think about, you have nerve endings in your foot that will send an alert to your spine that sends it to your brain. There's communication that's always happening in our body so that this being of ours can work. And what I'm going to show you are 3 tests that have to do with reflex. They have to do with tension in the body. And then I have a final one that I'll share with you at the very end. So make sure you stick around to the end, because that one is jaw-dropping. I want you to think about when you used to go to the doctor and you're sitting and he like bangs your knee with the hammer. That's a reflex. It's something that's automatic. It's something that you don't think about. It's that kick reflex that happens. Or if you put your hand under hot water, it's that reflex that immediately, before you even thought about it, you pulled your hand away. All right, so the first test I'm going to show you is actually Jerry White explained this to me. Now, Jerry White is a member of ASEA's Medical Board. A little bit of background on him. He has extensive background in both the clinical setting as a physical therapist. He also has a background in research. He founded the Gait Orthopedic and Neurological Lab at Shriners Hospital. He's an adjunct, or was an adjunct professor of biomechanics and physiology at EWU Physical Therapy School, and he works with elite athletes. So he was actually who taught this to me, and I'm going to allow him to teach it to you as well, because he did a demo with 2 young women, and well, 1 girl, 1 young woman, and this test was incredible. So the first thing you're going to see him do is push up, and he's asking the person to resist. All right. Then the second test is like a basket test where he pushes down. And then he did one that was like muscle tension with the arms behind the back. And then the final one, I will discuss you. But I want to share with you. So let's jump over to Jerry.
When it's that press up, you don't let me push. 3, 2, 1, resist. Do your toes go up?
Yeah.
Now, how much force was that?
Not much.
Not much. Almost nothing.
So what he was showing us and demoing was the reflex that the feet actually come up, the toes come up. So when you do this, you don't need much force, right? You don't need to hurt anybody. This is not like a competition of strength. What this is just apply some force and see what the body's natural reflex is. All right, it's a totally different strategy that happens when we introduce redox, when we introduce more cellular communication. More complex things can happen, and that's what he's going to show you now.
So right here, just start to press up. 3, 2, 1, resist. There's the same force. There's double. Keep it hard. Hold it. There's another one. And then I'm going to go for it. You hold it tight. There, you feel your abdominal muscles kicking in? Totally different strategy. No feet.
So you saw that was a totally different strategy. No feet were involved. What he asked her was, do you feel the abdominals engaging? And she said yes. And I want to actually share with you, because we caught her reaction and she shared what the experience was like on her end.
So the first time I felt like my whole focus was trying to not lose my balance. And the other time I just felt my abs activate and that I was able to resist.
Now, you know what's interesting? I'm going to tell you a secret. There are probably 150 different calculations and muscle contractions have to figure that out. to get to the ab part. When I added this to her system, all of a sudden, with one touch of this stuff to the skin, you're now able to process faster.
That's exactly right. Because there's more communication, all of a sudden her body, as he said, 150 things had to happen in order for the abs to engage in that way. So the body just becomes more efficient. Now you saw their eyes kind of look over, and someone else entered the room, much younger, and Jerry said, okay, I want to do the basket test, that second test with her. So watch again so that you know how to do this properly with somebody, how to have them really get their hands together, and how you're going to push down.
Make your hands do a basket. Keep it in kind of tight like this. When I push down with my hands, I'm going to start out real slow and say, don't fall forward. Just don't fall forward. Don't touch. Well, keep those fingers really.
Yeah, make sure they're really locked in.
Come apart. And don't fall forward. And you notice how she falls forward?
Like I said, we noticed she falls forward, right? So when you do this with people, make sure, like he said, her hands really have to be well together. Push down, and the reflex is just to fall. It's to move toward where the force is being exerted. Now let's see what happens when she too rubs the Renu28 on the neck, and you don't even need that much.
On your finger, and put it on your neck. So rub it in front, back, all the way around. It was like if I put in 2 Easter eggs, she fell over before, right?
Right, it was light.
So now I want you to don't fall forward. Just be like a rock. In 3, 2, 1, resist. You got it? Hold it.
Amazing.
Wow.
It still amazes me. That little girl had all of Jerry's weight. This is interesting. The reason he put himself next to the table was so that he could put even more weight on her. Something you can try. I know I did this with someone, and I put my entire body weight on them, and they didn't budge. So do this, you will see. Now the final test, we went back to the first person, and this was about bringing the arms behind you and seeing, okay, how much tension is there in the body? Watch and learn how you can set this up correctly. The thumbs are going to be up. You want to make sure that, you're not way up here, you're not too far down. You're at a nice angle so that you can start to move back and see how far they go.
You get out your tape measure with a spring in it. And we're going to measure. I'd like to have to turn all the way around this one. From here to here, and you tell me when you feel that same tension. And that is
26.
So that's 26 inches. It means at that point, your body's saying, I'm not comfortable that you're going any farther. I'm tense, I'm tight. I'm going to guard against that. Call it a guarding reaction.
Got to do the gel again.
What she's going to do is to tell me when she gets to a point where she feels the same tension.
Right.
So here's this, and we'll come back and you tell me when you feel about the same.
Wow, it's really going
Right there.
Okay, and read the number.
15.
26 to 15. You can do it if you have a measuring tape, great. If you don't have a measuring tape, you'll kind of get a sense of how far the person can go, and they'll notice. So it's really interesting. I dare you to do this with 5, 10 people. Bring them over to your home and have a little bit of fun with this. It will impress you with what you see with the Redox, and I'm sure it will impress them as well. Now, something that I get asked a lot, why and how did it just do that? Like, how do I explain to somebody what just happened? And what I would say is give a simple analogy. The body is just a communication network, and this communication system is awakened when you give more redox, when you give more of the signal. It's like getting more bars of service on your cell phone. Things start to happen more efficiently. Think of it like there's an orchestra that's warming up, and they're sounding terrible because they're not working together, and everyone's all over the place. And then the conductor comes in, and he taps his wand, and he says, okay, here's the beat, and let's go together. And now everybody starts working together, and that orchestra creates beautiful music. It's the same with your body. And what's really cool with things like neuroplasticity and how new communication networks can establish and get rebuilt over time, so much is possible when we start giving our body more and more redox. Now, you might be wondering, does this work for everyone? How long is it going to last? I asked the same questions to Jerry Wright. In fact, the whole interview is actually on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. And basically what he says is, look, this is a protective mechanism. It's a reflex test. And so yes, it happens with everyone. Everyone will have that same reflexive response, and you can shift it when you add the redox. Just put that on the neck as he was demoing. Now, how long does it last? He said to me, it'll last as long as a good warm-up does. All right, so it increases there for a little while. Now the final test, this is great for skeptical people. This is great for pretty much anyone if they have something that hurts. And so what I want you to do is figure out where does that person have something that hurts. And if they say they don't, then just see how far can they turn their neck before they're like, oh, you know, I feel tension here. And oh, when I go this side, I feel it here. Just get a baseline. Scale of 1 to 10. What is their discomfort? 1 is like not bad. 10 is like, oh, it's like excruciating. And then figure out the range of motion, especially if it's in a joint. If it's like how far the wrist goes or a deep knee bend or the shoulder, just figure out where is the range of motion because you want to baseline everything. All right. And guys, yes, you can do this anywhere. Okay. Because think about it. How many things in the body are built with cells? All of them. And they all run with the same operating system. So we are going to heighten that system. We're going to heighten that communication. And I want you to be aware that what you're going to do is you're going to apply the gel 3 times within a 5-minute period to the area. So say it's the shoulder. We'll put blueberry size amount on, rub it in, let it dry. That's 1. Do it again. Second application. That's 2. And then a 3rd time. All right. Those 3 applications within a 5-minute period. This seems to ramp up the signal enough. And report back to me what you see. When I do it, I have like 9 out of 10 people very happy saying to me, what is that stuff and how did it work? And it still to this day gets me excited. So remember guys, this is safe for everybody. You can't be allergic to it. It's completely non-toxic. It is impossible for you to hurt somebody, you know, unless in this you're yanking them back, right? Be gentle. The idea is what is the reflexive response? Where do I feel the guarding? When do they start to come forward, right? When do the toes lift up? I want you to be paying attention to that reflex because it's a subtle change then when you add the gel to go, oh, like she said, my abs engaged, right? Something different happened because more communication was happening. We are more effective, more efficient, more focused. Imagine if you could live your life in a more efficient way, right? Lack of sleep, toxins, stress. I mean, so much is inundating our bodies. Imagine if you can get it to be more efficient with Redox. One last thing that I often get asked, people say, well, hang on, I thought muscle testing, like my chiropractor does it. And, you know, they have me hold something and they test if my body agrees with it or not, if it makes me stronger or weaker. What you just saw is not that, all right? We did reflex testing. If you wanted to do muscle testing, you could try it, but what I would say is don't hold that blue bottle in your hand, right? That's plastic, so you might be testing if your body is weak or strong with plastic, and nobody should be strong with plastic. So again, I would probably just either put it in a glass cup or I would maybe spray it on you or rub it on you and then see, did it make my body stronger or weaker, if you want to play with that. All right. In the comment section below, again, I invite you to let me know your results. Let me know what's happening, how you did this. If you have any questions about any of the particulars, I also would love it if you like this video, subscribe to the channel because there will be future videos like this one about the redox signaling technology. And I look forward to talking with you. Now, if you are brand new to ASEA, brand new to Redox, look in the description. You'll see my WhatsApp number. You can just message me. I'm happy to give you a little consult and see what this can do for you.